So here is the grid for race number 1A at Cadwell Park. Tom Roach is on pole position and he is leading the way from Alex Preston, number 32. On the second row of the grid we get Charlie Chapman and Alan Henderson. 5th and 6th is James Blake Baldwin with Ed Gay. In 7th place we've got Brett Smith and 8th is Daniel Rogers. 9th for Simon Baldwin and 10th for Jonathan Clements with Leach 11th and Blackwell Chambers in 12th place. Simon Goddard down in 13th place for Simon with Matt Robinson at 14th. Stephen Craggs is in 15th with Callum Edwards and Killer Kinghorn on the back row of the grid. What is John Kinghorn doing on the back row of the grid? But here we go. The lights are about to go off at Cadwell Park. We've got a nice dry track. It's a little bit patchy in certain areas as you look back up the track towards Barham. But we are about to go racing for race number 1A, and away we go. It's a cracking start off the front row of the grid for Tom Roach in the Blendini car, and he has been the man in the MX-5 Championship so far as they go onto the grass down the main straight to go 3 wide in towards Coppice Corner. So that's extremely tight as they get through there. As they come up through Charlie's, Roach cuts across and takes a good lead there from further back in the pack, Blake Baldwin there. And it's all happening so quickly as we go back on board with Alex Preston, number 32, down up towards the fastest part of the circuit here at Cadwell Park. And he's right in the slipstream now of Tom Roach as they come up towards Park Corner. Through Park Corner, it's a tricky corner, it tightens up on you as you go through it. Got to be absolutely try and get the car nailed on, but now further down there's a bit of drama. Car number 13 goes for a wild spin across the grass here, and thankfully he doesn't manage to make contact with the tyre. Well, that's Scott Leach, and he was spinning and he was looking like he was going to actually come into contact with the outside retaining wall. Just managed to, whether through skill or luck, he pulled that one up on the brakes. But we're now down at the bottom of the gooseneck, Mansfield Corner. Tricky off camber left that goes through there, leads you on towards possibly the most iconic area of the Cadwell Park circuit here, the mountain. Right left as you go into it, it flicks back to the right there as you see Brett Smith flashing through. Then over the hill, Alan Henderson gets a little bit of air underneath the back end of his MX-5. They're onto the equally hard and tricky Hall Bend sequence of bends underneath the trees as we come through Hall Bend. Number 2, James Blake Baldwin, looking like he's got something. Is there something trailing underneath that car? Difficult to see from that camera angle, but Roach heads Preston as they go through the camera shot just now. That's Barn Corner. The run have been extended back there in recent years because it was a lot closer. You can see the green recticel which Cadwell Park have put in place as well. A lot softer hitting recticel than Arco Barrier, and recticel also nicer than tyre walls as well. But along the main straight, flicking off one of the laps, we go in towards Coppice. Basically a flat left in an MX-5. Come back and Charlie's a further down. There's a little bit of jiggery pokery there. That was number 46, Simon Goddard, was having a look up the inside there. Simon Goddard doesn't need too much in the way of encouragement to be going through there, as we see Blake Baldwin now having a go as they come up towards Park Corner. And James Blake Baldwin is racy. He's on the inside and he's going to make that move stick. It's a cracking move, done and dusted on the brakes. And number 39, Brett Smith, has no answer for that. So Blake Baldwin will be happy man with that one. Currently down in what looks like a 5th position. Alan Henderson ahead of him in the number 90 car. Can he catch up to Alan Henderson? That is what we're wondering as they come flying through the gooseneck there. The car's just twitching about with heavy downhill braking, which makes the cars quite unsettled in the braking zone. Got to get a good apex through Mansfield there. You get good drive towards the mountain, in towards the mountain, not really an overtaking area. The place where you're going to see people starting to lodge an attack there. It's still an area where you've got to be absolutely spot on for over the mountain. That's where you get the car goes a little bit airborne. Such a steep hill, steep incline up there. These little 1600 MX-5s charge up and over there. And really where an MX-5 starts to excel through the Hall Bend series here. Through we come, these cars just dancing a little dance as they come through there. JJ Clements a little bit further down. And we saw winning one of the races early doors at Rockingham this year, as that was Goddard again trying to go up the inside there. Really that wasn't on, it was never going to happen. But remember, JJ Clements won the very first race we televised from Rockingham, and unfortunately JJ hasn't really figured since then, so we'll need to keep our eye on him and see if he's going to put a charge on here. But we've got Roach and Preston already gone through them. We'll have got the number 40. In fact, no, look at Alan Henderson first of all. Let's concentrate on Alan Henderson. because he's starting to lodge an attack now. A big time attack now, as Charlie Charman's going to have to watch his mirrors. That's the white car. Charman has Henderson right underneath him as they go up towards Park Corner. Can Henderson have some sort of move as they get to the braking zone? He's looking up the inside, he's thinking about it, but Charman late enough on the brakes in the Blink Motorsport car not to defend. But look behind him. Yes, he's there. James Blake Baldwin with something hanging down from the front of that car, almost rubbing Henderson as they go round towards the gooseneck. Has he made that move stick? They're going to come flying into our view next. Yes, he does. He gets past Alan Henderson on the way in towards the gooseneck. You have to take your hat off to him there. James Blake Baldwin with a very gutsy manoeuvre. Brett Smith just watched that in blue 39 and he's thinking, okay, I'm going to have a charge at Alan Henderson now, as Henderson looks like he just positioned his car in the middle of the road there, not defending too much, but wanting to compromise overall lap speed. And Brett Smith gets a big sideways moment before he goes over the mountain, and look how much momentum he's lost on the climb up the mountain and in towards the Hall Bend series. So a huge amount of time there as Brett Smith takes it, one of the floppy markers at the side there. Cadwell Park really is a fantastic little circuit for watching from. You see the cars, or watching from on the telly, you see the cars doing all sorts of twists and shapes as they go over the undulation of Hall Bend. But you've also got the flat out speed of the fast part which we're approaching now. The first corner which Tom Roach is coming down towards Coppice. Very fast left. You've got to be a brave man to go through there. They're on through Charlie's and down the Park Straight now. Is Tom Roach, who has 100% record this year for every time he's raced a race in the MX-5 he's won, is Tom Roach coming under some pressure from this young man Alex Preston? The yellow number 32 car prepared by Blink Motorsport. I think he's catching. Looks like he's in a good slipstream here. Can we see if Preston catches on the brakes? Because Tom Roach we have seen doing disappearing acts, but look at that for third place. That will be James Blake Baldwin. Hello, I'll take that podium spot. Thank you very much, Charlie Charman. Charlie Charman gets done on the brakes as they go in towards Park Corner there. So James Blake Baldwin has himself now up into third place. And I think Preston is actually starting to put some pressure on Tom Roach. Tom Roach doesn't watch, he's going to lose that 100% record, and he's also going to have to start defending in a couple of minutes possibly, and that's going to slow their overall lap time down. And then that blue car in the background is homing in. He's already starting to pull away from Charlie Charman. Charlie Charman is he's falling back into no man's land here, but let's concentrate on these ones at the front, because through comes Roche with Preston just skimming the curb there, really making that MX-5 work pretty well as we go through the Hall Bend here. A great camera shot panning all the way around there, catching all the action. We're now on the outside of Barn Corner, and look at this, the third place car, he is making big inroads here. James Blake Baldwin, he fancies a win as we now look at the cars coming through Barn Corner. Blake Baldwin flies back towards the pit wall. The guys in the pit wall come back, they lift their heads back, not wanting to get hit with the dust. Charman, Henderson flies through the shot, then Smith in the next blue car. Smith thinking about having a look in towards the first corner. I think you have to be completely alongside to make any sort of move stick there, Brett Smith, but yeah, God loves a trier. Focus on the car number 80, the black, white and red car of Alan Henderson as he goes down the Park Straight up towards Park Corner at the top of the hill. Yes, Roach is now defending. We just caught that in the camera view there. Roach is now defending. Further down, is that Simon Goddard finally having a move? Yes, number 46 Simon Goddard gets alongside and past Simon Baldwin. So a battle of the Simons there. And that's Ed Gay just behind him now. Ed was one of the guys that we really fancied for a good result here at Cadwell Park after a strong showing at Rockingham and Croft. So Ed just off the back, just a little bit off the pace, currently in 7th, 8th position according to our TSL timing screen just now. But meanwhile, back at the front, Alex Preston putting all sorts of pressure on the number 1 Tom Roach as Henderson has Brett Smith on the outside. Has Smith made this work? Yes, he's gone round the outside of him at the bottom of the mountain, and Brett Smith has now taken that place from Alan Henderson. So there must have been some sort of mistake at Mansfield from Henderson which allowed Smith to capitalise and get that place, get the car on the outside, and ultimately put him in the main place for the bottom of the mountain. So a good move by Brett Smith in number 39 there, ahead of Alan Henderson. Henderson not backing off and not making it easy for him now as he's tucked right in the back slipstream of that Number 39 MX-5 as they head along the main straight now. Henderson puts his hand out there, either waves to his pit crew or pretty muggy here at Cadwell Park, maybe just trying to cool himself down a little bit as we watch the cars go through the first corner. There's Simon Goddard, he's pulled away a little bit now as well. So Simon Goddard got himself ahead of the pursuing pack behind him. But it would be good to try and catch up with our leaders, because it would be nice also to see if James Blake Baldwin has made any inroads towards the Roach and Preston battle at the front of this pack as they just fly through our screen. One man going to have to watch out is Charlie Charman, because Brett Smith has now been freed up from Alan Henderson. And there goes Simon Goddard with Ed Gay in hot pursuit. The number 14 car, the white car with the luminous green mirrors of Gay, in hot pursuit of that number 46, the Valentino Rossi-esque Link Motorsport car of Simon Goddard. Meanwhile, back at Mansfield, Alan Henderson homes into the back of Brett Smith, who in turn is homing into the back of Charlie Charman. Charlie Charman's going to have to watch here. He's going to be under all sorts of pressure from that young moving car, number 39 car of Brett Smith. But here comes the Blendini Motorsport car. He's dealing very, very well with this pressure which he is getting put under from Preston. Lovely, lovely little bit of curb getting used from the inside passenger wheel there. You can see him just getting the car wheel hooked over the curb. And if you're a rally man, you would say that was ditch hooking. But we're not rallying, thankfully. We're on the tarmac just now at Cadwell Park in these MX-5s as we come through Barn, clicking off another lap here of Asking along the main straight. It's getting down to crunch time now as the marshals in the pit lane enjoy this one. It is Tom Roach from Alex Preston and James Blake Baldwin as they go flying through across the cliff. As you can see the cars coming into view in a beautiful four-wheel drift there by Tom Roach. Very well illustrated in that Blendini Motorsport car. Then it's Charlie's, a fast exit from Charlie's and down the park straight, dropping down all the way to the bottom of the straight in a really steep incline here, all the way back up, and you can see the track sunk in between the sides. Sides of the track go up either side, it's like a banking, very much a tunnel effect as you come to the top of the park corner there. But thankfully for Roche, he manages to hold on to this, but look how quickly that number 2 car is caught in as he drops a wheel over the edge of the curb there. So it shows you just how hard James Blake Baldwin is trying. He's caught right up with the leaders on that last lap. He has set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:46.6. So Blake Baldwin in his charge to get towards the front has put in an absolute flyer of a lap there, and that's 4 or 5 tenths quicker than anybody else. So fair play to him. A full half second ahead of Alex Preston right now, and he's all over the back of Preston. He needs to try and jump Preston straight away. He has a good line over the mountain. Can he do this into Hall Bends? Don't really think there's much of a straight to get him past there, but Preston is now having to defend and watch his mirrors from the charging number 2 car. Can he do it in the barn section? There's just not enough room there. Plenty of runoff, you can see it at the farmer's field, but not a place you want to go missing. So Roach getting let off the hook a little bit, because Preston now having to watch that rear view mirror for James Blake Baldwin, who has arrived extremely quickly up to the back bumper of that number 32 car. And where can he do it? Well, his favourite place has been Park Corner at the end of the Park Straight. Will he build up a manoeuvre all the way through Coppice and Charlie's, where we are now is Preston sideways, so Preston's trying. He's really trying very hard as we come through Charlie's, and watch the blue car close in. But having said that, watch the yellow car catching Tom Roach here. We're in the slipstream. What's Roach going to do? Where's he going to go? Preston jinking about with the steering wheel. Roach defends as they come up towards the hill. Up the inside also trying to follow Roach through comes Blake Baldwin, and he's done it. A brilliant move by James Blake Baldwin. Alex Preston forced to make some sort of move on Tom Roach there. Roach defended, and defended very cleanly and well. Preston went to the left hand side, and Blake Baldwin used his head there, got right onto the back bumper of Tom Roach and made up that position very well. Alex Preston won't be a happy bunny about that right now, I can guarantee it. And that's really not going to bother James Blake Baldwin one little bit, because he's now in second place and he smells a win. He smells the 100% record that Tom Roach has had is about to go out the window. He's got a great manoeuvre through the bottom of the mountain and over the top there. Can he do it through Hall Bends? Yes, he can. Great move. Roach is forced off the circuit with nowhere left to go. He makes a right mess of that. Goes over one bit through Hall Bends. Gets over the second bit of grass. So Roach goes from first to third there. Just no room for 2 cars, 2 abreast through Hall Bends there. Blake Baldwin did absolutely nothing wrong. Roach tried to hang on, tried to fight it out with him, but unfortunately definitely come off worse there. The pit crew very happy for James Blake Baldwin. He'll be smiling underneath that flash helmet, I can guarantee you, as will Alex Preston, because he's got back into second place. But has Roach got an answer for that? Unfortunate for Tom Roach that may be, but that unfortunately is racing on a tight circuit, and if you don't give room, you're going to run out of road very quickly. And unfortunately you run out of road in one bit through the Hall Bend, and then you run out of road in the second area as well. We're back at the top of Park Straight now, and there goes Blake Baldwin further back in the background. We just got a glimpse of the Brett Smith, Henderson and Goddard battling, which are all together on the circuit. Again, we can hear them screeching through our TV shot there as we follow Preston. Now we come down through the gooseneck. Here we go, Alan Henderson and Charlie Charman together. Just off the back of those guys, we have got Simon Goddard and Ed Gay still all over the back of the 46 car. A bit of a bad crash now. Can Gay get some sort of manoeuvre in towards the mountain? We say it's not an overtaking place, but it has been today. If not the actual into the mountain, it's been the second part of it there where people have been getting, well, people, we see James Blake Baldwin really has been getting good drive up over the crest of the mountain and in towards the Hall Bend area. You can see these guys just sliding the cars beautifully through that corner and using a little bit of curb. These guys really are driving these MX-5s on the absolute ragged edge. As Henderson flies through every shot. Charman, Goddard and Gay as quickly as you can see it, and Charman drops a wheel off there now. Has that compromised his speed onto the main straight, passing the pits. Beautiful grass banking to spectate from there on the far side as they come down towards Coppice. Menacing clouds in the sky, we should point that out as well. Clouds are definitely starting to come over as Charman hits the curb hard, trying very hard to stay ahead off number 46, Simon Goddard, as they come down into the bottom of the Park Straight and back up the top. Not long in this race left now. Is Goddard going to have a shot up the inside of Charman? Yes, he has. The wipers are now on as well. So there we go, the wipers are on. Commentator spots a cloud in the sky, mentions it, and the cloud bursts. So we are now in tricky situations for everybody now. Of course, they'll all have the rain repellent on the windscreen, and as soon as you get mental rain, it does tend to play on drivers' minds. So this rain coming down there, as you can see, Charman locks up the inside front wheel, which is unloaded under braking there. Locks it up. You don't want to be doing that too much, you'll get a flat spot on the tyre, and that makes braking very difficult. So these guys with wipers on absolutely full blast. It doesn't look like anybody else has got them on round this part of the circuit. The rain does seem to be coming from the Coppice, Charlie's and Park area of the track. As we come back through Ed Gay in a unfortunately lowly position for him just now. A little bit of no man's land in 8th place, but Blake Baldwin in the blue number 2 car right on cue. Brilliant work, Mr. Director. Blake Baldwin comes back into shot, and Tom Roach and Alex Preston and Tom Roach chase hard now. Roach really hasn't got much of an answer as we see Baldwin having a huge slide as they come through Charlie's there. Obviously it's raining, you can see a little bit of shine on the track now. These guys starting to encounter the water as we go on board through Charlie's. Blake Baldwin ahead there, Preston with a lovely little slide. Look, quick check of the mirror. Wipers on a go down through Park and up towards the top. You've got to watch your braking here, Alex Preston. You're in second place, don't throw it all away. As Blake Baldwin, you can see the tracks getting left by these cars, so the lap time's disappearing, dropping quite quickly as they both come through a big slide there for Alex Preston. Unfortunately, the leader, James Blake Baldwin, is the first man to encounter these track conditions, so he is the first man onto it. So Alex Preston will be using him as a gauge, that's for sure, as they come to the bottom of the gooseneck in Mansfield. Preston in there a little bit too hot. Roach follows him in just as hot though. So Tom Roach is using Alex Preston as a gauge, we can see that, and he follows him in very hot through Mansfield there. Underneath the footbridge, bottom of the mountain. Quick left over a little crest, car goes light, dips back into the inside right hand curb and over the crest of the mountain. The rain on our camera lens. So the rain has now come over towards this part of the circuit as well. So what a finale we are setting up for here in the first race for the MX-5s, race number 1A, as James Blake Baldwin copes with it all ever so well as he comes through this area of the track. Lovely little slide for the car there. And here we'll go on board with Alex Preston. He turns in, huge amount of understeer, but looks of it there, and a bit of oversteer in the exit, but not too much. Past the race control building and the marshals. Licking off another lap here at Cadwell Park. and the rain is starting to make its presence felt now. You can see the leaders going through Coppice, in towards Charlie's. James Blake Baldwin he'll be tippy-toeing, he will be feeling that car dancing about underneath him, as Alex Preston will be having the exact same feeling as we go on board with him. The wipers get turned on there by Alex Preston. Down the dip up towards Park Corner, and we see the left wing mirror there. We can almost just about see Tom Roach. Roach has a look out now. I think that's Tom Roach just having a little bit of a show there, as one of the marshals gives him a nice big wave. One couple of more laps left in this one anyways. One of the marshals clapping as they come round, obviously just happy that James Blake Baldwin is leading this one. But Tom Roach isn't finished yet, is he? No, he definitely isn't finished, because Tom Roach can sense there's still a second place on the cards at Mansfield. He's up the inside, he's positioning himself for the bottom of the mountain as they run along towards it. Preston's on the wrong side, or is he? Can he hang on round the outside of the mountain so he gets the position back? But no, Roachy dives up the inside of the mountain, gets a good second place back from Alex Preston there, and that was all done at Mansfield. And finally the move gets written and done and dusted at the mountain as Blake Baldwin comes through. He'll have seen that Roach is up at the second place, and Roach really is the danger man in this championship. As we come through the last couple of corners from James Blake Baldwin through Barn Corner, Roach in second place ahead of Alex Preston, and they power out towards the finish line, and it's a checker flag, and it's a win for James Blake Baldwin. He wins a race from Tom Roach. Alex Preston comes home in third. A fine fourth for 39 Brett Smith, with Henderson and Goddard coming in as well. But well done, James Blake Baldwin. Tom Roach has finally been beaten in 2013, and it's taken to the third meeting of the year, and he pulls up alongside James Blake Baldwin and gives him a big hefty wave there. James Blake Baldwin deserved that one. He's up from round about 4th, 5th place, so Baldwin wins from Tom Roach, Alex Preston and Brett Smith. With Henderson, Goddard and Charman, Ed Gay down in 8th position. He will not be happy with that. Simon Baldwin 9th, and Daniel Rogers is in 10th.